the Maldivian president, Mohammad Muizzu. Remember, he came to power just a couple of months back and he has been provoking India ad nauseum. This time, he has asked India to withdraw its military personnel from his country by March 15th. A senior official, in fact, said in Male that nearly 2 months after the removal was sought, it has not happened and the government there would pursue it. According to the latest government figures, there are 88 Indian military personnel in Maldives, most of them involved in humanitarian activities like relief, rescue, evacuation, etc. Remember, it's an archipelago and about 300 habited islands where evacuations and rescues are very common, and that's what the Indian soldiers do. And yet, Mohammad Muizzu, rabidly anti-India, does not like even that because he obviously wants a toehold for China in the Indian Ocean region, almost behaving like a puppet of China. According to the and in a press briefing today in Male, Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim, the public policy secretary in the president's office, said that President Muizzu has formally asked India to withdraw its military personnel by March 15th. And this has been quoted in Sun Online, the Maldivian newspaper. And this is the policy of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu and that of his administration. Maldives and India have set up a high-level core group, in fact, to negotiate the withdrawal of troops. This is something in the making. And the group held its first meeting at the Foreign Ministry headquarters in Male on Sunday morning, which is today morning. And so these developments taking place, fast-paced developments, Mohammad Muizzu, in fact, becomes the first president of Maldives who has not made India the first foreign trip abroad after taking over. He first went to Turkey, then he went to the UAE, then he went to China, and still to come to India. I'm told we have two guests joining us this evening to understand the implications, the geostrategic foreign policy implications of these developments that have taken place in Maldives, in our neighborhood, in the Indian Ocean, very important strategic region over the last 2 months since the coming of the Muizzu government. Ravinder Sachdeva, geopolitical strategist and global geopolitical strategist, and Pathikrit Pine, strategic affairs expert, join us let's have a conversation. Both familiar faces on our channel, and let me begin with you, Mr. Sachdeva. Mohammad Muizzu contested on Out India plank and won. And since then, he has been insisting that Indian soldiers who are mainly deployed for humanitarian assistance, for evacuations, rescue, relief operations, they should be removed. This kind of rapidly anti-India position where the president of Maldives cannot see the good of his own people. Where is he leading Maldives to?
A couple of points to my view. One, what's happened in the age of this our instant media, things move so fast. We could give time for things to move a bit slow also. But yes, absolutely. I think with respect to India, we have to hammer through. I was just thinking as I was coming to this discussion as to what we are looking at the situation. India has to continue with its hard and soft cylinders firing with respect to Maldives. That's one. Secondly, there's a saying, when things get when things get tough, the tough get going. Big picture, I'll leave it there. The point I'm trying to make, the third point is that India is facing a challenge and we will face more such challenge. Let's look at Maldives as a case study. We will face more challenges like that. Uh, how our diplomacy, our foreign policy, and we all, act or react to that, and we take a long view. I think that's the bigger picture. Now coming to this point, yes, I mean, on the one hand, it's something which is uh, not good news for India, whatever we may say. But at the same time, it's a situation for India to take hard steps and soft steps so that the people of Maldives and the polity of Maldives realizes where they are in terms of a geopolitical context. It's a I do think if matters
Right,
continue like
right,
this
right,
in 5 years, I mean, and if he
right.
continues in power, I mean, within 5 years, China could have one naval base, set up their radar station, set up there. He would sell off some islands. It doesn't cost them anything. The islands are there. All they need to do is give them those. But India has to, and we are. So
Okay.
these are the challenges for India as we grow
Yeah, challenges for
into a
India.
global
Let me take
leader.
this to
We will
Pathikrit.
manage, we
Pathikrit,
should manage.
there are obviously going to be short-term headwinds and challenges, but the fact of the matter is that Maldives depends on India for so much. But it's not just about a big country, as Muizu suggested, bullying a small country. It's about good neighborliness, which Mr. Muizu seems to be hell-bent on destroying.
Has never hyphenated its relationships with other countries. India never said to any of its neighbors that don't have relation with China. Only thing India has said that you need to have parity. You need to ensure that your bases are not used for surveilling on India. That's the simple thing. See, the very simple, to put it in perspective, whatever has happened in the last couple of months and especially in the last couple of weeks, Muizu was the bow and the three ministers were the arrow. So everything happened according to the wish of Muizu. On the pretext that either India will not react, and then you can say that, look, this is how you can, pin down India. This is how powerful this man is. And because Indian government did not react, but people at large actually reacted, and Prime Minister Modi had all the right to promote Lakshadweep, now this guy is saying that, look, I've been bullied. So what I was doing was right. This is what the game plan is. See, it's at the end of the day, I think Maldives is overestimating its relevance so far as a base is concerned. Those 88 people are mainly for maintenance of those Dhruv and the Donias, and he has not given up on those Donier and the Dhruvs. Let's understand, if the people of Maldives cannot see what has happened in Sri Lanka in terms of the debt trap that that country is in, a Hambantota, which is an unviable port, taken over by the Chinese, if they can't see what has happened in Nepal or Pakistan, so be it. That's their choice. For so far as India is concerned, Lakshadweep is being built, and eventually it's not that the think tanks in India and the strategic thinkers were not forcing something like this so far as China trying to push up its surveillance capability in the Arabian Sea or the Bay of Bengal. And India has its countermeasures in place, whether it is in Seychelles or the Mauritius or getting into South China Sea itself. So I think it's a game of equilibrium which will take time to balance out. Problem is, a small country like Maldives should not have done what it has done, because as a first respondent, it cannot be China because of logistical challenges. It has to be India. When it comes to treatment, Maldives people cannot go to China for treatment. They have to come to Kerala or Tamil Nadu or some other place of India. When it comes to first response, it has to be India. It cannot be somebody else. So let me tell you, Maldives, Muizu is like a Rajapaksa. I'm sure he has become very rich by now, and he's a short-term player. He doesn't care perhaps if Maldives goes to the drain and comes completely into a debt trap. He will just run away then.
Yeah.
But the problem is, these countries need to understand, when two major countries are in a tug of war, you should not try to play these games. And they have made a mistake. It's up to them. They have chosen.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Abhishek, one last point. If you go to Malé, you will realize Maldives is not as it is being shown as a tourist place. The place has been highly radicalized. Anti-India sentiment has been cultivated by the Islamist organization. People of Maldives have chosen this government. If the consequences have to be faced, the people of Maldives will realize it. Eventually, they have to face. If they have not learned what has happened in Sri Lanka or Pakistan, the choice is theirs. So far as India is concerned, we have always had the options. For China to build up a major military base, it's not so easy because of logistical challenges. And I'm sure India's government, the Ministry of Defense and the armed forces are equipped enough to counter those things. Maldives is a very small player. They should have stayed away. Muizu has completely, jeopardized the future of Maldives at the altar of its own political prospect. And I would not be surprised if in the next few months he faces severe backlash so far as people from Maldives are concerned. Abhishek, back to you.
Pathikrit, my question is, since you say that Maldives has got radicalized, etc. My question is, Mr. Sachdeva, that for the last 5 years, there was a very India-friendly government there, led by President Ibrahim Soli, and we were closely working. So how come this sudden spurt in anti-India sentiment? It seems there is an
Sir, if I
element
may
of
say,
conspiracy, there
I
is an
s-
element of some planning that has gone into
sure,
it.
sure. I see two big picture trends why this is happening. One, if we look back over the last 30 years in India's periphery, governments in Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, forget Myanmar, Maldives, we have had governments who have been in power pro or anti-India. That government loses elections. The next government which comes is either pro or anti-India. This is the pattern, one. And why that pattern? Secondly, is that there is a reality. We are the giant in this region. And this region, when you're a smaller nation, you will have anger. You will think that, the big brother, let's say, phenomena, the big brother is dominating you, etc. So, or if whatever. So, what happens when a government is in power in Sri Lanka, in Nepal, in Maldives, etc.? The opposition has the opportunity to kind of, challenge them and say that, you're being a pawn to India. It's good brownie points for elections. That's what's happening. It's a trend going on.
Okay,
And it will go on. It will always. We are the largest
okay.
player in this region. And so domestic politics of our
Okay,
smaller
but
neighbors will be
Mr. So sorry to
influenced
be interrupting
by
you,
this
Mr.
aspect.
Sachdeva. Let's not harp on this. We are big thing because after all, it's a sovereign country. But Pathakrit, the fact that already there are winds of change, there are reports that the elections to the Malay mayor have given the post to the opposition party, now the Democrat Party, which was in power till 2 months back. So obviously, people in Maldives are already realizing the price they might end up paying for electing Muizzu.
Absolutely,
It's not
Abhishek.
that
See,
Muizzu is going to get away with it, right?
Abhishek, number one, you are absolutely right. Let me tell you, cultivation of anti-India sentiment by radical Islamist organization is a given in Mali, but there is something more than just radicalization and polarizing a country against your neighbor. When economic reality hits you, and they know that given the pace at which the Modi government has the capacity to build up infrastructure in luxury, they know what's going to come and how it's going to hit it. For Chinese to come and sit over there in Maldives is not going to be easy. So you would see, it's a reality that it's an internal affair of Maldives, but it's such a small country. There would be backlash within the economy. There would be backlash. Now, when the backlash happens, I don't know whether Muizzu will be able to handle it, because I don't think the Chinese are going to give it for free to them. And if at all the Chinese are giving some concession, what
Okay.
the Chinese generally take in return is enormous. Maldives is already in a kind of a debt trap because of the free trade agreement that Maldives has with China, has been forced to sign. It is in a, if you go to Maldives today,
Okay.
that place is overwhelmed with Chinese products. So I'm telling you, eventually the people of Maldives would have very little option but to question and rebel, and perhaps electorally, not otherwise, because Muizzu is, as I stated, jeopardizing the future of this country and its economy at the altar of its own political prospect. Look, rhetoric works, but not beyond the point if the economic implications are not balanced and checked in place.
Pathakrit, we are getting a breaking news development. It's an MEA statement, in fact, on the same thing. I'll come to you, Mr. Sachdeva. Let's just get this breaking news development, which is connected with the story we are discussing. And the MEA statement says that the first meeting of the India-Maldives high-level core group was held in Male today. And during the meeting, both sides held discussions on wide-ranging issues related to bilateral cooperation towards identifying steps to enhance the partnership, including expediting the implementation of the ongoing development cooperation projects. Both sides also held discussions on finding mutually workable solution to enable continued operation of Indian aviation platforms that provide humanitarian and medvac services, which is medical evacuation services to the people of Maldives. So obviously discussion has taken place as to how to continue the humanitarian assistance that India provides minus the military personnel. I think Mohammad Muizzu is doing somebody's bidding. We know whose bidding he is doing. He has just been back from Beijing. And Mr. Sachdeva, coming back to you. Maldives continues to escalate, but India continues to play a very responsible regional partner. I would still not say we are big, we are a large country, they are a small country. Let's not use that language. After all, they are a sovereign nation. But we are being very responsible. We are being partners in development, and we are behaving with utmost dignity despite all the provocations. Is it not a good takeaway from this crisis of last 2 months?
Great point and great word you use, Abhishek, dignity. And that's the core and key. Absolutely, yes. But what I'm trying to understand myself, I'm reducing. When I'm saying, I'm talking about a complex. I mean, in psychology and international affairs, overall, it's idea. Big country with small. But what I'll say is, again, realistic to the extent, Moizu is in power for the next 5 years. We may think or imagine that he will not do this or do this. He will face an economic backlash. 5 years in today's day is like dog years. It's very long. Who knows in 5 years what will happen? He may lose local elections, but as long as he is in the seat, and if he's driving, then he's driving. So for us, India, to my mind, we got to think the next 5 years. Okay, Maldivian economy may tank, GDP gone down, tourism gone down, etc. He is looking at his, if I were, or in his, he's looking at his election ability by stoking or stoking domestic sentiments. So Moizu for the next 5 years is in power. Let's think that. If he's in power for the next 5 years, what can he do? What can the government of Maldives can do? It can sign agreements. We can say that they will realize a huge cost after 10 years. Who cares? In the next 5 years, he could take decisions which have long-term
the kind of changes that are taking place on the ground, from a no-confidence motion being planned against President Mohammad Muizzu to the Mali mayor election, throwing up opposition party leader just 2 months after Muizzu was elected. And remember, Muizzu himself has been mayor of Mali for 7 long years. I think we are seeing some changes taking place in Maldives. Of course, keeping a close watch. This is an emerging situation. Thank you so much, Mr. Sachdeva and Pathik Fine, for joining us. On that note, we slip into a short break. On the other side, I come back with some reports on the Ram Temple and seat share tussle, which is becoming a flashpoint between the Samajwadi Party, which is merged with the Congress in Uttar Pradesh. Also, no end to Ram Temple politics. Akhilesh Yadav now says he won't attend the inauguration but would go later.
Tata.tv.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
हो business बढ़ाना, गुड़िया को पढ़ाना या मिसेस के साथ वेकेशन, लो मुथूट फाइनेंस को लोन, भरोसा इंडिया का, भरोसा इंडिया का।
मुथूट फाइनेंस, भारत का #1 सबसे भरोसेमंद फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज ब्रांड। गोल्ड लोन के लिए अभी कॉल करें 1-800-313-1212।
उड़े देश का आम आदमी। यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के इस विजन ने रीजनल एंड इंटरनेशनल एयर कनेक्टिविटी को दिए हैं नए आयाम। नए भारत का नया उत्तर प्रदेश बनकर उभरा है सर्वाधिक इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट वाला राज्य। भगवान बुद्ध की तपोभूमि कुशीनगर में इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट शुरू होने के 25 महीने में ही मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम प्रभु श्री राम की जन्मभूमि अयोध्या में प्रारंभ हुआ है। महर्षि वाल्मीकि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डा अयोध्या धाम का संचालन।
जब नियत नेक हो तो इसी तरह से काम होता है, इसी तरह के नतीजे मिलते हैं। ये अयोध्या नगरी भी तो इसकी साक्षी है।
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ के नेतृत्व में देश के एविएशन मैप के शीर्ष पर है उत्तर प्रदेश। एयरपोर्ट से ऊंची उड़ान, कनेक्टिविटी को नई पहचान।
12 बजने वाली है, क्रिसमस साथ मनाएं। हम जिससे प्यार करते हैं वो मर जाए, हमारे लिए उसका प्यार मर जाए, मरते तो हम ही है ना।
इस दुनिया में बस हम दो हैं, दुनिया जिनकी दीवानी है। आ रहे हैं हम दोनों।
Pooja, you left the job and still so cool?
Bro, new challenges bring new opportunities.
Oh, really?
Seriously, Rahul, my entire house, now it's an online retail store. Look.
Wow. But money?
Few years back, I'd invested my Diwali bonus.
And now you have LIC's ULIP plan Nivesh Plus. Invest once, get the benefit of both life insurance and maximize returns based on market trends.
One sec, Rahul.
Madam, you are double cool.
I am at Pulpalli in Wayanad district, and what you see next to me is a very, very sacred spot for the people of Wayanad and Kerala. That's right, we are now standing on the Valmiki Ashram, an ancient ashram, and this is the place where people believe that Devi Sita gave birth to Lava and Kusha. This was a hermitage of Valmiki, who had given refuge to Devi Sita after she was banished by Lord Rama. She came all the way to this ashram, and then she gave birth, and children Lava and Kusha were raised in this place. The very word Pulpalli actually derives from the word of Pulla, which means the darba grass, and Palli, where she laid down. There are lores that are steeped in Wayanad which talks about Ramayana, and this particular place stands foremost among them. And what you're seeing behind me is the sacred Valmiki Ashram, where people believe that Sita gave birth to Lava and Kusha, and also the place where Valmiki wrote Ramayana.
Tata.tv.
सर आप बहुत लकी हैं कि आपके बेटे ने हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस और बाकी सारी फॉर्मेलिटीज टाइम से पूरी कर दी है। अब आप घर जा सकते हैं।
मेरा बेटा?
तो फिर आप?
पॉलिसी बाजार।
क्लेम के टाइम पे हमेशा आपकी हेल्प को तैयार। पॉलिसी बाजार, 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 390 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
भाई इतनी बड़ी टाइल।
इतनी बड़ी बड़ी हिट्स आप लोगों ने मुझे दी हैं। टाइल्स तो बड़े होने चाहिए। सुमानी मैक्स टाइल्स, टाइलों का सबसे बड़ा भाई। सुमानी मैक्स टाइल्स, जमीन से जुड़े।
मिलके हम पंजाब को रंगला पंजाब बनाएंगे और बिजली के मामले में पंजाब को सरप्लस बनाएंगे।
24 घंटे बिजली रहिंदी है जी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं बिजली दी, सानू कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आउंदी जी। जो भी मतलब लोग सरकार नू टैक्स जमा कराउंदे आ, वो टैक्स ही ये लग रहा जी ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੰਤੁਸ਼ਟੀ ਹੈ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਜੀ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦਾ, ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ।
ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਜਮਾਂ ਹੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ 1.5 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਜਮਾਂ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੇਰਾ। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਲੈਪਟਾਪ ਤੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ, ਜਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਜਮਾਂ ਹੀ ਭੋਰਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਟ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਲੱਗਦਾ। ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਸੂਬਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੈ।
ਇਹ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਤਾਂ ਬਣਾਤੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ, ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੀ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਬਣੂ, ਅਗਲੀ ਪੀੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਉੱਚਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਗਰੀਬਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਉਣ ਦਾ ਸਤਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਉੱਚਾ ਪੱਧਰ ਦਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਚੱਕ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਇੋਰਟੀਜ਼ ਨੇ। ਮੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਯਕੀਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਯਕੀਨ ਰੱਖਿਓ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਯਕੀਨ ਕਦੇ ਟੁੱਟਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਊਂਗਾ।
कैंट से पानी होता है 100% प्योर।
कैंट आरओ प्योरिटी दिखाता भी है।
कैंट देता है सबसे शुद्ध पानी।
MG Aster, it's built around you.
Welcome, Harry.
Hello, Aster. It's your connected world. Your playground.
Hello, Aster. Open sunroof.
Opening sunroof.
Introducing MG Aster 2024. Now starts at 9.98 lakhs.
मोदी सरकार की गारंटी, सस्ती दवाई, अच्छी दवाई, कम से कम 75% डिस्काउंट। अब तक जरूरतमंदों के 23,000 करोड़ रुपए बचे। हमारा संकल्प विकसित भारत।
Senior Congress leader Milind Deora has quit the party. He has quit the Congress party and he has now joined Shiv Sena. And President of Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde in Mumbai. Deora ended their 55-year-long ties with the Congress party of his family, calling it an emotional day. After quitting the Congress, Milind Deora says that Congress has only one goal now, which is to oppose Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He further said that he believes in politics of gain, that is, growth, aspiration, inclusivity and nationalism, and not in the politics of pain, that is, personal attacks, injustice and negativity.
देखिए, मैं यही कहूँगा कि मेरी राजनीति हमेशा सकारात्मक रही है और मैं एक प्लेटफॉर्म मुझे आज मैं खुश हूँ कि शिंदे साहब के नेतृत्व में मुझे एक प्लेटफॉर्म मिला है, जिस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जो विज़न है, शिंदे साहब का जो विज़न है मुंबई के लिए, महाराष्ट्र के लिए, देश के लिए, उस विज़न को मैं भी एक छोटा सा उसमें एक रोल प्ले कर सकता हूँ और एक पॉजिटिव एजेंडा के साथ हम आगे जाना चाहते हैं। बहुत
BJP spokesperson Jaiveer Shergill called Milind Deora's exit from the Congress party unsurprising. He further went on to say that a self-respecting individual who believes in working for the nation and in pro-development politics cannot survive in the Congress party, terming Congress as a poorly managed NGO run by Rahul Gandhi.
Milind Deora's exit from the Congress is not surprising. No self-respecting individual who believes working for the nation, who believes in pro-development politics can survive in the Congress. Congress has now become a poorly run, mismanaged NGO run by Rahul Gandhi and his set of extreme left ideology leaning Darbaris who have taken a vow to expeditiously finish off Congress.
Congress MP Rahul Gandhi flagged off his Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra at Thobal today. Yatra will cover over 6,700 kilometers over 67 days, going through 110 districts. West Bengal Congress President Adhiranjan Chaudhary called the Yatra an ideological struggle. He also said that only ideology of the Congress party can save the country, and this Yatra has nothing to do with the elections and the victory or defeat in the elections.
पर हम लोग अलग ही है वैचारिक धारा पे। राहुल गांधी जी और कांग्रेस पार्टी बराबर ये कहते आ रहे हैं कि हम विचारधारा की संघर्ष कर रहे हैं। आज की सत्तारूढ़ पार्टी के साथ हमारा विचारधारा की लड़ाई है और ये मकर संक्रांति के मतलब पावन दिन पर और आज मणिपुर से और वो भी हमारे जो योद्धा की जो स्थल है वीर की जो स्थल है वहाँ से ये यात्रा शुरू हो रहे हैं न्याय दिलाने के लिए। न्याय की गुहार लेकर राहुल गांधी जी की अगुवाई में फिर ये ईस्ट टू वेस्ट मतलब मणिपुर टू मुंबई ये यात्रा की शुरुआत आज हो रहे हैं।
While BJP MP K. Lakshman has said that Congress was unable to tolerate the development taking place in the country under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Lakshman calls the Yatra political and a gimmick to come back to power.
न्याय किसके लिए? पूरा देश आज मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में सरकार हर एक गरीब का जो कोई भूखा पेट नहीं सोना 80 करोड़ आबादी को निःशुल्क राशन दिया जा रहा है और विकास इतना तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है वो सही नहीं पा रहे। मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में पूरा 140 करोड़ आज आबादी मोदी जी के साथ है। आज न्याय किनके लिए मांग रहे आज समझ में नहीं आता।
Meanwhile, Rahul Gandhi addressed the people of Manipur and said that he understands the pain that they have been going through. He promised that he will bring back harmony, peace, affection that the state has always been known for.
You have lost what you have valued, but we will find what you valued once again and bring it back to you. We understand, all of us on the stage, understand the pain that the people of Manipur have been through. We understand the hurt, the loss, the sadness that you have been through.
Rahul Gandhi went on to say that Manipur is a symbol of BJP's politics and that it is also a symbol of BJP RSS's hatred, and then the northeastern state has become a symbol of BJP's viewpoint and ideology.
बीजेपी की जो राजनीति है, बीजेपी की नफरत, आरएसएस की नफरत, उनका जो दृष्टिकोण है, उस विचारधारा का मणिपुर एक चिन्ह है। जो आपने यहां खोया, जो मेरे भाई ने बस के ऊपर कहा कि we have lost what is most precious to us.
Delhi Minister congratulated Congress National President Mallikarjun Kharge for becoming Indie Bloc's chairperson. Bharadwaj says that all the alliance partners respect him and making him the chairperson was a good sign. Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee S. Manohar lashed out at BJP MP Anant Kumar Hegde for insulting Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, calling it an insult to the people of Karnataka. Manohar further went on to say that a police case should be registered immediately and Hegde should be arrested. Founder and global chairman of the World Hindu Foundation, Swami Vivekananda, has revealed that around 100 heads from 55 countries, including ambassadors and MPs, have been invited for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony of Ram Temple on 22nd of January. Hanumangadi Temple priest Mahant Raju Das has termed Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's actions like that of an asur after he refused to attend the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. He said that though Siddaramaiah is a good name, his actions are not.
मुख्यमंत्री जी का रमैया क्या बात है, इतना सुंदर माता पिता ने नाम रखा, राम से जुड़ा हुआ और काम कालनेमियों वाला, शुद्ध रूप से मुख्यमंत्री जी का कालनेमियों का रूप है और कुछ भी हम नहीं कह सकते, क्योंकि जिसको बाबरी प्रेम, जिसको आक्रांताओं की चिंता और चिंतन, हिंदुस्तान के बहुसंख्यक समाज के आस्था से इस प्रकार से खिलवाड़ करना, तो सीटी रवि जी ने कोई गलत नहीं कहा है।
Jagat Guru Swami Atmananda Saraswati, who says that those who are opposing this Pran Pratishtha are opposing religion, nation and even Lord Ram. He questioned why the Shankracharyas were opposing this. He also urged the 4 Shankracharyas to participate in this ceremony because they are the crowns of societies and the sadhus.
जगत गुरु शंकराचार्य हो, चाहे वो कांग्रेस पार्टी हो, चाहे भारत का कोई संत हो, चाहे किसी भी पंथ का व्यक्ति हो। जो व्यक्ति राम जी के इस प्राण प्रतिष्ठा महोत्सव में विरोध कर रहा है वो 3 प्रकार से विरोधी है। धर्म का विरोधी है, राष्ट्र का विरोधी है और व्यक्तिगत श्री राम जी का विरोधी है।
General Secretary of Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra Champat Rai inaugurated machines donated for making prasad and community food ahead of the Pran Pratishtha. BJP National President JP Nadda announced that the party will start a cleanliness drive at all religious places from today. The drive will continue till the 22nd of January when the Pran Pratishtha will take place.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के आह्वान पर पार्टी ने तय किया है कि मकर संक्रांति के दिन से प्रारंभ होकर 14 तारीख से 22 तारीख तक हम हर एक तीर्थ स्थल, मंदिर, जो भी तीर्थ क्षेत्र होगा उसकी हम सफाई भी अभियान में अपने आप को शामिल करेंगे और वहाँ भजन कीर्तन भी करेंगे। और साथ ही साथ 22 तारीख को हर व्यक्ति अपने अपने घरों में दीपमाला जलाएगा।
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath participated in a cleanliness drive in Ayodhya as part of the Swachhata Abhiyan ahead of the Pran Pratishtha ceremony of Ram Temple in Ayodhya. On the occasion of Armed Forces Veterans Day, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh laid wreath at the War Memorial at Kanpur's Air Force Station. Chief of Staff General Anil Chauhan and Air Marshal Vibhas Pandey also participated in the ceremony. Suspended Wrestling Federation of India Chief Sanjay Singh has complained that he had received a live threatening call in which the caller threatened to kill him. A case has been registered against the unidentified caller and the probe is underway. Ahead of Republic Day, Pakistani Army opened fire at the Akhnur international border. Indian Army retaliated to Pakistan's provocation. Infiltration bid of Pakistan terrorists was foiled in the same sector last month. After intelligence agencies alert warning that Pakistani rangers supporting Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists might infiltrate into India, security has been beefed up in the Jammu region. Vehicles coming from Samba are being checked thoroughly. Search operation by the Indian Army has entered day 3 after suspected terrorists fired upon a convoy of security forces vehicle on the 12th of January. Air quality of Delhi dips down to severe category as the temperature decreases. A strict ban on construction sites and mining associated activities will be suspended to reduce the dust particles in the environment.
जिस तरह से तेजी के साथ टेम्परेचर डाउन हो रहा है उससे जो भी पोल्यूटेंट हैं, जो प्रदूषण के कण हैं, वो काफ़ी जम गए हैं और नीचे आ गए हैं। कल जिस तरह से धूप भी नहीं थी और हवा की गति रुकी है तो उसका एक तात्कालिक असर दिख रहा है और जिसकी वजह से ये ग्रैप 3 का नियम जो है लागू किया CFO में। मुझे उम्मीद है कि जल्दी जो है इस स्थिति में परिवर्तन होगा और उसको लेकर के फिर निर्णय होगा।
Tamil Nadu celebrated the auspicious day of Pongal by conducting Rekla race in Dindugal village of Tamil Nadu. Now, Rekla race, also known as bullock cart race, is a traditional rural sport celebrated in parts of the state. BJP MLA Basavaraj Mattimud has had a narrow escape when his car overturned in an accident in Kalaburgi region of Karnataka. The Gulbarg rural MLA met with the accident near Pala village when he was heading towards Shahabad with some other leaders. He was rushed to the local hospital and his condition is stable. Prime Minister Modi attended the Pongal celebrations in the national capital. A young singer performed at the event, after which Prime Minister Modi gifted her his shawl. As part of Pongal celebrations, Prime Minister Modi performed the Gau Puja in the national capital. This, of course, on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, the festival marking the beginning of the harvest season. Amidst the winter season, devotees offered prayers at Vaishno Devi Temple in Jammu and Kashmir on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. And Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board CEO Anshul Garg says that their team will facilitate the devotees according to the number of people coming for Yatra, and the team will work as per the crowd management capacities. Union Home Minister Amit Shah flies a kite as he attended the International Kite Festival in Ahmedabad. Amit Shah was accompanied by his wife Sonal and is scheduled to participate in the celebrations at Kota and Kalol as well. 5 people, including 2 women, were injured in a collision between 2 vehicles on Tirupati National Highway in Chennai. Accident took place due to low visibility due to dense fog. Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu has asked India to withdraw its military personnel from his country by the 15th of March. Now, according to the latest figures of the government, there are 88 Indian military personnel in the Maldives. More than 30 Palestinians, including young children, were killed in overnight Israeli bombardments in the Gaza Strip. Video released by Gaza Civil Defense Department shows the rescue workers searching through the twisted rubble of a residential building in Gaza City. And according to the Hamas-controlled Gaza Health Ministry, more than 130 Palestinians have been killed in the last 24 hours. Thousands of people gathered in Tel Aviv and called out the government to bring their loved ones home after 100 days in Hamas captivity. Hamas and other Gaza terrorists had captured some 250 people during the deadly 7th of October attack on southern Israel, killing 1,200 people, most of them civilians. Protests were held in Jerusalem, calling it the most destructive war, deadliest and also the longest. Over 24,000 people in the Gaza Strip have died in this war, they say, and researchers have estimated that nearly half of all buildings are likely damaged or destroyed. Israelis protested against the government for the way it has handled the ongoing war against Hamas and demanded the resignation of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. They also called for new elections, claiming the government abandoned them on the 7th of October and did not provide support to victims and hostages. Demonstrations were held opposite the White House, calling for an end to Israeli military action in Gaza. People held signs questioning President Joe Biden's viability as a presidential candidate because of his staunch support for Israel in the nearly 100-day war against Hamas. Thousands of protesters made their way through central London for a pro-Palestinian march. This is part of a global day of action against the longest and deadliest war between Israel and Palestinians in 75 years. The London march was one of the several others being held in European cities, including Paris, Rome, Milan and Dublin. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu lashed out against the critics, saying that Israel was fighting a war against the axis of evil led by Iran and its affiliates. He called that it was immoral and just, and spoke of the audacity of neo-Nazis who accused the government of genocide. Netanyahu also said that no one can stop Israel in restoring the security to the south and the north, adding that Israel has no other choice than to achieve victory in the ongoing war. A senior Hamas official, Osama Hamdan, to reporters said that that the Hamas fighters were taking cars of Israeli hostages in captivity in Gaza. He added that they were also providing medical aid to them. His statement comes after Israel said it had brokered a deal with mediator Qatar to deliver much-needed medicines to the hostages with the help of International Committee of the Red Cross. During a meeting with Tehran, Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi questioned whether nations would discuss normalization with Israel due to the war and asked if the countries who did normalize ties with Israel, can they hold their heads high in front of the people, their own people or the nation. Hundreds of people have died in the cholera outbreak in Zambia. The country's health minister visited the center and expressed sympathies for those affected while advising that relatives do not attend the funerals of family members who had succumbed to the disease. After North Korea fired a ballistic missile towards the sea, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida instructed the Japanese government to take all possible measures to respond appropriately. This is North Korea's first missile launch of the year and comes days after North Korea fired a barrage of artillery shells near the disputed Western Sea boundary with South Korea. Guatemalan President-elect Bernardo Arevalo said that he was looking forward to his inauguration, and despite initial roadblocks such as judicial investigations and arrest warrants, the broad popular support at the polls and the momentum of the indigenous and peasant protests on the streets have nurtured his arrival on the inauguration day. At least 100 residents were evacuated after Mount Merapi erupted again, spewing smoke and ash high into the air. Sprays of ash blanketed roads and vehicles in the nearby villages. Indonesian authorities raised the alert level of the volcano from level 2 to level 3, which is the second highest level. Amid criticism of slow relief work after magnitude 7.6 earthquake hitting Japan on New Year's Day, which left 1,000 people injured, Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida visited an evacuation center, meeting the members of the self-defense forces, police, fire departments and other units engaged in disaster recovery. Several prison guards taken hostage were released in Ecuador after being held hostage by criminal groups which the government blames for violent attacks. So far, some 41 prison guards have been released, while the situation of 136 civil servants still inside prisons was unknown. After Lai Ching-te emerged as the president-elect of Taiwan, U.S. President Joe Biden says that the U.S. did not support independence. Now, President-elect has vowed to safeguard the island's de facto independence from China and further align it with other democracies. But many countries, including the U.S., formally recognize the People's Republic of China but maintain unofficial ties with Taiwan. At least 33 people were killed and dozens were injured after a mudslide took place in western Colombia. Some 35 were injured and taken to different hospitals. Search operation will soon begin for missing people potentially still buried under the debris. A four-time champions Japan begin their Asian Cup Finals campaign against Vietnam in Group D. The last time the teams met in the tournament was back in 2019, where the Samurai Blue won 1-0 in the quarterfinals. Indonesia returns to Asian Cup Finals for the first time after hosting the tournament back in 2007. For this match, Indonesia will face Iraq, who were winners in 2007. This is their fifth appearance, where they are aiming to make it to the knockout stage.
कुछ महीने पहले मेरे दोस्त की हेल्थ अचानक खराब हुई और कुछ दिनों में ही उसकी डेथ हो गई। उसने पॉलिसी बाजार से टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लिया हुआ था। मैंने पॉलिसी बाजार को कांटेक्ट किया। उनकी टीम ने क्लेम दिलाने में उसकी पेरेंट्स की पूरी हेल्प की।
क्लेम के टाइम पे आपकी हेल्प के लिए हमेशा तैयार। पॉलिसी बाजार 1 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 470 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
मोदी सरकार की गारंटी, सबका अपने पक्के घर का सपना होगा पूरा। 4 करोड़ पक्के घरों का निर्माण, हमारा संकल्प विकसित भारत।
बादलों पे चल के हवाओं से मिलके मैं बनाऊंगा, हौसलों को कस के तूफानों से लड़के मैं बनाऊंगा, रोशनी के टुकड़ों से अंधेरे को हरा के मैं बनाऊंगा, उम्मीदों के पंख कंधों पे लगा के मैं बनाऊंगा, बनाऊंगा मैं तो बनेगा भारत,
बनाऊंगी मैं तो बनेगा भारत।
The vertical velocity is now being constantly reduced.
India is on the moon.
बनाऊंगा मैं तो बनेगा भारत, बनाऊंगा मैं तो बनेगा भारत, बनाऊंगा मैं तो।
स्किल, स्टील और दिल से बन रहा है भारत। AMNS इंडिया, स्मार्टर स्टील्स, ब्राइटर फ्यूचर्स।
केंट से पानी होता है 100% प्योर।
केंट आरओ प्योरिटी दिखाता भी है।
केंट देता है सबसे शुद्ध पानी।
गाड़ी लेने से पहले टाटा एस गोल्ड पेट्रोल CX का दिन, यानी इसका इंजन देखा। ये इतना बढ़िया है कि 18 किलोमीटर प्रति लीटर तक का माइलेज तो हंसते हंसते दे जाएगा। अब तेल के दाम तो बराबर ही हैं, पर इस गाड़ी की कीमत है कम, इसलिए अब हर ट्रिप में खर्चा है कम और मुनाफा ज्यादा। तो अब सोचो समझो और टाटा एस गोल्ड पेट्रोल CX में।
यार अजय, look at your dad. Will we be the same at his age?
Absolutely yes, if we plan our future like him.
How?
My father had invested in LIC's Jeevan Akshay, which gives immediate and guaranteed annuity at regular intervals, that too for life.
Wow. But do we have to wait until his age?
Absolutely not. We recently invested in LIC's new Jeevan Shanti, which gives deferred annuity, which means regular income after some years.
I see.
LIC. LIC's annuity plans give 10 annuity options and flexibility in receiving regular income. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ।
Welcome back. Now, Indian forces have been put on high alert after Pakistan opened fire at Indian Army post in Akhnur in Jammu and Kashmir. Massive search operations have also been launched by the Jammu and Kashmir police to nab these terrorists. Take a look at this report for more.
Pakistan has resorted to unprovoked firing at the Indian Army post in the Akhnur sector of the international border, to which Indian Army has retaliated effectively, and now the security grid along the international border in Akhnur has been put on the highest of alertness. The Jammu and Kashmir police along with the forces are carrying out the area domination to thwart any attempt of the Pakistan side, as this could be a part of a larger conspiracy of Pakistan to push terrorists into the Indian territory. Important to mention that there has been already an alert that a group of 3 Pakistani Lashkar terrorists is attempting to sneak in from the international border area of the Samba, and at this time now the infiltration attempt to be backed by the Pakistani side has taken place, where Pakistan resorted to firing at the Indian Army positions. Right now, we are reporting from the ground zero, where the Jammu and Kashmir police has launched an intensified operation after the ceasefire violation was done by the Pakistani side. Technically, when they resorted to targeting the Indian Army position, several rounds were fired. It all started at around 8:30 in the morning, and then the firing went on till late afternoon, and as we speak the firing is underway. That is what we are getting to know, but the Jammu and Kashmir police has been put on the highest of alertness to thwart any attempt of the adversary. If we speak of last couple of years, there have been heightened activities, be it the pushing of the Pakistani armed trained terrorists into the Indian territory or dropping of the weapons via drones. In this same sector, a major infiltration bid was foiled by the Indian Army last month, when a group of terrorists that was attempting to sneak into the Indian territory was first detected, and then 2 terrorists were killed while 2 others managed to sneak back to the Pakistani territory. And days after that, a drone carrying the consignment of terror, including IEDs, grenades, pistols, was traced and brought down by the Indian Army. The consignment was recovered, and then there was multiple attempts by the Pakistani side. Visar Jeevan Kumar, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
Tata.tv.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education, whilst imbibing values and sanskars in